Good morning, friends, and welcome back to the start of another weekly vlog. I am, as I always say, so excited to be doing this one with you because I started the week off with a surprise from my husband, which was taking me to see Hosier live in concert last night, and he is one of my all-time favorite musicians, and I am still kind of reeling from it. I am emotionally drained because I cried like a baby almost every time he started a song, and I am still just in awe that I have the world's best husband, and he was able to give me such an amazing night last night. So I took you guys with me there, and you'll have a little sneak peek of that somewhere throughout this vlog. So I'm so excited to share that with you, and also what we are going to be reading with each other this week, which is Evocation by ST Gibson. I'm so excited. I'm so beyond excited to start this book. It is, by the way, June 1st, this morning, and I thought I'm going to wait until a brand new month so I can kind of crack this open, take my time, really absorb the story because I don't know too much about it yet. All that I know is that the story is about a main character. I believe his name is David. Yes, his name is David, and he has some kind of necromancy ability, or he is somehow involved in like seances and maybe talking to spirits and stuff like that. But it's in his family history, and a family curse has been threatening his life because this was some kind of curse that was put on the family like 2 generations ago or something by his grandfather or his father. And now this devil or whatever is actually going to be carrying out this curse is kind of, he's coming to collect his payment on said curse. Something along those lines. I do know that this is also going to involve some sort of love triangle because David will be seeking out the help of his ex-boyfriend. His ex-boyfriend is now married to a woman, and it kind of seems like they are going to maybe not only go on this adventure to try and stop this family curse from being carried out, but also having to navigate some super interesting relationship dynamics and the feelings and emotions that would come along with doing that. So I'm so excited to be reading this one along with you guys today. We are also going to downtown Detroit this afternoon. My husband and I have the day off again together. We are going to go visit our cousin's bookstore down there, 27th Letter Books in Detroit. And we're going to do a little book shopping, a little walking around the city, get some lunch, something like that. And then I think we are going to finish the night with a movie marathon of Dune Part 2. So this weekend has started off with a bang with our amazing concert last night. We are going to cruise through today in downtown Detroit, and we are going to bring it in for a landing, snuggling up on the couch, watching Dune Part 2 as a family. So I am giddy, and I'm sorry. I'm still like kind of again in my feels from the concert last night, but I'm really excited to take you guys with me to the bookstore so you can get a peek of that. And I'm excited to do a little in-person book shopping. I've been kind of trying to chip away at my TBR and then some ARCs that I've gotten over the past month. So it's going to be fun to go in-person book shopping, get some physical books in hand, and I am craving some literary fiction books. I have a list that I have my eyes on. I want some like books about women, books about women's wrongs. I support women's rights, but more importantly, I support women's wrongs here on this channel. So I've kind of just been like obsessing over books like that lately and just kind of devouring them. So I want to go see what our cousins have in stock at the store. So I'm super, super excited to do that. Anyways, I could go on about all the excitement that I'm feeling for this weekend forever and ever. So I am going to let you guys go now. I'm going to finish my cup of coffee, and then I will check in with you later this afternoon. All right, bye.
driving home with my shoes off. It had been too long. The entire month it'll probably be another one. World's on fire, but gas is cheap. Nothing to do, nowhere to be. I've never been one to watch TV, but I guess there's the first time for everything. You stayed at home, I guess you'd rather be alone than piss your parents off.
I don't know.
I got mad, but I didn't tell you. I gotta leave goodbye.
Hello. I think it's time. Well, it's way past time that we do a reading check-in with each other for our book for this vlog, Evocation. Also, just really quickly, we have had some outrageous storms today, so they are kind of subsiding now, but it was storming while I was wrapping up my workday. And of course, ask me how this guy sleeps when there's a storm. Basically like the dead. I don't know how we got so lucky that he has zero anxiety over storms. It's almost like he sleeps like a baby when it's storming. Also, went to the gym today, and if you're wondering why I look slightly like Ronald McDonald, it's because it is 90 degrees and humid and raining randomly in Michigan when it was 50 degrees like 2 weeks ago, because Michigan just can't decide what it wants to do when it's changing seasons, and therefore my hair can't decide if it wants to be straight, if it wants to be big and start curling, and why I even take the time to do anything to it is a question for another day. But with that being said, I wanted to do a check-in with you guys on my thoughts and feelings on the book. I'm sitting down to edit the next vlog coming out right now, and I needed to take like a break from computer screens for a hot minute. So I was like, let's grab the book, let's do a reading check-in. I don't not like it. I honestly, it's so far it's just not my favorite book by ST Gibson, and I'm kind of bummed about it. If you watched my last unboxing, when I opened this and I cried because there's an author signature in here, and she is truly a favorite author of mine. So I guess I'm just like not vibing with this book like I have her other ones. A Dowry of Blood, I think, is just so hard to match. It is such a specific type of book that I really fell in love with her from that book, but you can't just get another story from The Bride of Dracula over and over again, right? She's got to branch out. She's got to do other things. And Education and Malice, I really liked. I really enjoyed it. Evocation, I'm not connecting with the characters as much as I normally do. Like, even in an Education and Malice, I was like, I don't know, kind of iffy. But they're like Laura, I loved her right off the bat. And then as the story went on, I kind of started connecting with more of the characters, that's fine. Also, like, it's okay when things take time for me. But in this book, I don't know what it is. And because there is a kind of like triangle situation happening. So I believe in the last check-in, I told you briefly what the book was about. It is our main character, one of our main characters, David, is fighting this long-standing family curse that was put on his family like generations and generations ago, and it affects the youngest male heir in the family, and he is now the only living male heir left, and so that leaves him to deal with this curse because it is such a old magical curse. Him as a magician himself doesn't necessarily understand how to fight this curse or break the curse, so he has reached out to his ex-boyfriend, who is now married to a woman. His ex-boyfriend's name is Rise, and Rise's wife's name is Moira. So now we have our three characters, right? We have David, Moira, and Rise. Rise and David ended on a bad note. They are still kind of like crossing paths at this point in their life because they're both in like this magical society where there's kind of like traditions being upheld. It's like this boys club of male only magicians and stuff like that. So they are still kind of part of the society together, but they don't really interact as much as they don't have to. But now that David is sick and fighting this curse, he has reached out to Rise and in tandem his wife Moira to kind of help him figure out what to do and how to fight this curse. So the three of them, because Moira is also, she doesn't consider herself a medium, but she does have the powers of a medium, and what she kind of goes into a little bit in the book. And Rise's wife Moira is also kind of like, she dabbles in the occult as well. Like, she does her own little side business of like palm readings and tarot card readings and stuff like that for clients. So basically, they're all in this world together. They're going to work together to try to fight this curse and help David. And along the way, they are kind of building and repairing relationships. And it is very interesting to see the dynamic kind of shift and change around between the three of them. And so Moira and David kind of creating a friendship, and David and Rise kind of mending where they ended with each other. But it does kind of take a turn into more of a love triangle area, which is not something that I mind reading about. I just feel like it's all too convenient and easy. Like, two of these people are married, and there's some stuff happening. I'm trying really hard not to give too many spoilers. I might just put like a spoiler section here in case this is too much, and then I'll let you like jump forward to another section. So that will be maybe somewhere on this screen. But I think that's what it is. It just seems kind of like the characters are like, oh, well, like, are you wanting to have like a polyamorous relationship? Because like, I'm fine with that, but like, if that's what you want, then like, you'll have to also be okay with me wanting that. And yeah, like, read this book. I picked it up at the local bookstore. It's a guide on how to kind of handle that situation, and then like get back to me with your notes. And I don't know, it just seems very surface level. And yes, there's like some thoughts from each character, like, oh man, like, is this the right thing to do? But again, it just seems very quick and very easy and convenient. Like, in my head, I'm like, this stuff doesn't just happen. Like, you can't just decide that you're going to have a polyamorous relationship and like things are cool. I would say that it's a very, very hard thing to manage if it's not done from the beginning. Also, I do not have experience in this, so I'm sorry if I'm speaking out of turn, but in my mind, I'm like, I feel like that is something that is kind of very, very deep and very thought out with a partner more often than not from the beginning stages of a relationship. Not that it can't happen later into a relationship, but I think that complicates things. At least that's what I would imagine. So it's kind of like this thing that, like, I don't know, it just feels kind of fake, and I don't love that. And I think that's what's keeping me from like connecting with these characters. Moira, I would typically love her as a character in any other situation because she's kind of like this beautiful like hippie wearing her hair natural and like smelling a patchouli, and I'm like, she is my kind of girl. I love her. I would hang out and drink mimosas with her at brunch every weekend. But she seems kind of like too cool and too like, she's the cool girl, and I don't know, it's just, maybe it's my own anxieties that are overriding how I feel. But regardless, that's how I'm interpreting this book. Do I hate it? No, it's just really not. It's not, I don't know. I guess it's just not what I expected. I do like the story. I like the idea of the occult. I like that this is here and now, and these are people that still are part of these societies and kind of work magic, and they have different types of magic and powers. So I love magic. So that is at least interesting for me to read about. I'm a character girly. I love connecting with characters. So even though I do love a plot and I like a plot to be beefy and like good, enjoyable to read and make sense, I can get into a book from characters alone. So when that feels like it's lacking for me, I think that's where I struggle. But with that being said, I'm actually about 100 pages left of this book. I've chipped away at it quite decently through this week. And I am going to sit down this afternoon after I wrap up editing, try to read a little bit more, and then hopefully wrap this book up either today or tomorrow and give you guys some final thoughts and opinions. Again, I'm not trying to sound super negative about it. It's just so far not my favorite story of hers. The way it's written, some of it, because it's so convenient and so easy breezy, it almost feels a little immature. And I think that's maybe what it is. Like, I'm expecting an adult novel, and the writing around it feels a little young adult. I don't know. Anyways, that's where I'm at now. So hopefully after I finish some editing on this vlog, I will be able to sit down and read a little bit more, and then I will give you guys another update when I have one. Until then, I hope you have had a fabulous day, and I will check in with you later. All right, bye.
Sunshine and rainbows. I've been feeling good, yeah, you know that it's true. Yeah, that'll work. Sunshine and rainbows. I've been feeling good, yeah, you know that it's true. You say that you love me, baby, what you tryna do? We could see the world every day, me and you. Sunshine and rainbows. I've been feeling good, yeah, you know that it's true. You say that you love me, baby, what you tryna do? Every day is sunshine and rainbows. I've been looking good, tryna hit the mangoes. Take a trip out to the beach, just see where the day goes. Put a smile on my face, yeah, I feel it. Lost in the sauce like I made a couple millions. Broke with an attitude, girl, you acting basic. If I told you that I love you, then you need not just a trip. Different than your average, I'm not here to hit and quit. You a queen if you hang around. Real love, let a youngin' come and hold you down. If I make it, then the team was, that's including you. Work so hard, I'm graduating honors in the booth. They can't touch me cause they never see it through. Sunshine and rainbows. I've been feeling good, yeah, you know that it's true. You said that you love me, baby, what you tryna do? We could see the world every day, me and you. Sunshine and rainbows. I've been feeling good, yeah, you know that it's true. You say that you love me, baby, what you tryna do? Yeah. Hold me close, let your spirit catch a youngin' like the Holy Ghost. I got so much on my plate and I just doubled up. That's what it takes if you gon' really do the most. Be a star, now you shining on your ex, running numbers. Yeah, I'm stunting, watch me flex, that's just the way it goes. They don't wanna see you broken in the trenches, out here working on your image, sharing love with all your peeps. Well, I ain't really with it. Everyone's invited to my cookout. You and yours, and even Uncle Greg that got a hidden bottle in his shorts. Yeah, he gone up off the hand, but he found, and nothing breaks a bond you always had. Sunshine and rainbows. I've been feeling good, yeah, you know that it's true. You say that you love me, baby, what you tryna do? We could see the world every day, me and you. Hey, sunshine and rainbows. I've been feeling good, yeah, you know that it's true. You say that you love me, baby, what you tryna do? We could see the world every day, me and you.
Hello. So, we have to do our final reading check-in for this vlog. Let me fix, like, what angles am I going for here? This This is not tracking. I don't know. This isn't adding up. So I thought we would just sit on the couch, chit the chat a little bit. What is happening? Why don't I like the angle? I always put the camera here. I don't know. Also, I'm just having my little afternoon Alani, big Alani girl, and I inadvertently matched my shirt today. So that's a thing that I did, and that happened. But as I'm sitting here sipping my caffeinated beverage, I wanted to take the moment to do our final check-in for Evocation by ST Gibson. I'm pleasantly surprised. So I will say, I don't think that this is my favorite book by them already. However, it's very much their style, where it's got that kind of gothic vibe and it very fall vibe. Like, this would be a perfect spooky season fall read. And I think in the last check-in, I mentioned the dynamic of the three characters and how I wasn't super in love with it. It felt a little bit, again, I'm going to repeat myself, but it felt kind of convenient and a little too perfect. I think that is good in a way. It was a great representation for something like a polyamorous relationship, because as we know, in the world that we live in today, we have all sorts of relationships and there's no normal and there's no right and wrong. And I love seeing that more and more, and just kind of like put into the universe that this is just part of life, that not everybody has to fit into a box. But because of the representation being so flawless, I think it gives a little bit of a romanticized view on those types of relationships. Again, I think that there's pros and cons to it, because I think that people books teach us things, and books teach us that things can happen for us, just like characters in books. Those, like, we like sometimes strive to live through these characters and learn that we can also have certain things in our own lives. But again, romanticizing something, I think, is a little bit tricky. However, that is just one little qualm I had with the book. And I say little, I'm probably making it sound more dramatic than it actually is. It's just something that stood out to me a lot. Everything else in the book, I really, really loved. I loved the fact that this was so surrounding, like, I loved the fact that this surrounded magic so intensely. Each one of our characters has a different type of magic. They do something different and they learn from each other and they bounce ideas off of each other. So to solve a major problem using magic, and it's not your average like quest story where, you know, these kids with magic are gonna like save the day and they find themselves through their magic type of situation. These are adults that use their magic and their brains to problem solve, and I really, really enjoyed that. I think it was a really unique take on magic in a book, and again, the fact that it was three people having to kind of put their egos aside at points in time for the greater good of solving this problem was a really cool plot line, in my opinion. I loved all the characters. Moira, I loved so much. She is just like this beautiful, like, goddess with gorgeous natural hair and like a body to die for, and wearing like 70s chic kind of clothing. And I just like imagine if I could be a character in a book, it would be Moira. I loved her so much. And again, ST Gibson, their writing to me is just kind of great. I just love the vibes that come from these books. I do think, and I said it before, but I got so spoiled with A Dowry of Blood. And man, they came out of the gate so hard with that one. It's going to be kind of hard to, in my opinion, top that book. But again, the subject matter of that book was kind of one and done. Like, you can't really do that again. And it was so intensely dramatic and like romantic and dark and all the things that I just immediately fell in love with their writing and the way that they write. And again, that I will forever be a fan. And in Education and Malice, I really, really loved. I will say these are very, very vibey books. So if you really like a spooky season book, maybe keep this one on the TBR. And even An Education and Malice, if you haven't read that one, kind of like on the backlist for, you know, some fall, autumn vibes, because it's perfect for that. Or if you just like that vibe year round. I mean, no shame. I read this in June and I don't regret it. So here we are on that. But with that being said, I wanted to wrap up this vlog and let you know my final thoughts and opinions. I think I rated this one 4 stars, maybe. So again, not my absolute favorite of hers, but still a great, great story. And if you do like a multiple POV book, this one is done very well, in my opinion. I never felt like it was hard to go from one character to the next, which in my opinion is the hardest part of a multiple POV. Sometimes it just feels clunky and I can't keep timelines or storylines straight. This felt very fluid and I really enjoyed that, and it made the book kind of a quick read. So I really, really enjoyed it. I highly recommend if you love magic, if you like representation of polyamorous relationships, or just some like badass characters. It's very, very enjoyable in all of those aspects. Definitely a little bit of spice in there, so it's more towards the back end of the book. So if that is something you don't love in the book, it's not too overly present. So with it being kind of like on the back end side of it, I don't think it would be an issue for too many people that aren't super big fans of spice. And the spice is also pretty brief, so I don't think it's a major, major plot point in here. But just throwing that out there, because I know some of us don't love a lot of spice in our books, and that's totally fine too. We all take our tea a little bit differently. So yeah, with that being said, I wanted to go ahead and wrap up, and thank you guys, as always, for joining me on this weekly journey. You know I love doing these weekly vlogs. I love getting just my genuine reactions to things, and sometimes I'm bad at turning the camera on as I'm reading and like getting reactions or updating you guys like as I have my nose in the book. So I think I'm going to try to do that a little bit more in some upcoming vlogs, and I've got some exciting ones coming up. I got a great stack of books for the month of June, so stay tuned. If you want to see any more of those, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a vlog that comes out on a weekly basis. Or if you want to see any of my other videos, like my monthly wrap-ups and my TBR videos, I also do some monthly unboxings and book haul videos as well. So yeah, stick around if you liked this at all, and always hit that thumbs up button. And have you read this yet? Or have you read any of ST Gibson's books at all? What are your thoughts and opinions on their writing? Do you like any other books more than the others? Let me know that in a comment below. Let's start a conversation. That's why I'm here. Because I want to talk about books with people. I'm almost like begging people to talk to me about books, clearly, because now I'm just putting myself on the internet and saying, hey, what did you think about that book? Let a girl know. But with that being said, thank you guys so, so much for joining me on this journey. And as always, it has been an absolute blast, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.